Hello out there. This is number 4, chat session number 4, November 4th, 2017. Here today to go over things that are on my mind, have a little coffee. It is the afternoon, it's around 2 o'clock. Haven't been feeling well, so another late session, but we're having it nonetheless. Excuse me while I have some coffee. Oh, I love coffee. Alright, today in history, on this date, November 4th, 1956. A spontaneous national uprising that began 12 days before in Hungary is viciously crushed by Soviet tanks and troops. Thousands were killed and wounded, and nearly 250,000 Hungarians fled the country. Comment on that in a minute. Let's go on to the next tidbit of history. 1979. Iranians stormed the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. 90 hostages were taken. This all came about because the students were enraged that the deposed Shah had been allowed to enter the United States for medical treatment. This would eventually lead to Ayatollah Khomeini taking control of the country. There's been conflict since the beginning of time as far as mankind knows about. Our recorded history, we've had military conflict. Unfortunately now we're at a point where technology exceeds our expectations, and the possibility of human annihilation is ever present. So just keep that in mind as we progress in our lives, that we can maybe fix this problem, get it under control, so we can sort of live in a non-fearful society, that any moment everything can erupt, and the necessary violence and death and all that stuff doesn't have to occur. That's just my opinion. Again, I think that awareness isn't the only key in the process, but it is the first key to figuring out a solution to the problems that face our society. Being aware of where each of us can have a contribution in correcting the solution, correcting the problem, causing a solution. Now on to other stuff that's of interest in our November 4th, 2017 day, which by the way is a Saturday. Football protest, big issue for some reason. I think that what started as a true protest against injustice has turned into a true protest against the President of the United States. Trump continually attacking the NFL, attacking players, attacking the whole concept of what the NFL is, by calling names and that kind of stuff because they're kneeling down during the national anthem. I don't necessarily think it's right or necessarily think it's wrong, because each side has a view, each side has something to stand on. As a right of the citizen, we can protest. As a right of respect for all the people that paid the price so that we can protest, I think that's where the squabble comes in. I think that as a citizen of the United States, I feel that I have to respect the right to protest. And the other side of the coin is, as a citizen of the United States, I have the right to object to those protests. So there really is no end to it. Now, if the NFL as a whole decides, hey, we're going to stop this stuff, then that would be fine with me too. I think as a fan, I think it's detracting from what I enjoy, and that's football. Now, maybe I'm wrong in just taking that one singular view of this, but I'm a fan of football. I'm not a fan of protest. I'm not a fan of any of that stuff. If people want to do it, that's their right as as a United States citizen, but don't take away from the enjoyment of what it's supposed to be about, and that's football. That's just, again, my opinion. Apparently, everybody's going to have a different view, and that's fine. That's what makes this life we live great, because we're allowed to have diversity in opinions. Some people will say I'm wrong, some people will say I'm right, some people will say it's screw it, I don't care. It's all relevant. The only thing that's certain is that this coffee's fantastic. On to other subjects. It's time for citizens and the communities that make up the United States to stand up against the corruption that is evident in all the cities across our country. It's in our positions of city, like the mayor, city management, chief of police, all the different departments. Unfortunately, corruption's rampant in the bottom all the way to the top, and from the top all the way to the bottom. But I think that there's no loss of hope. I think there is hope. I think that if we just decide to get control of the reins and get the nonsense over with, and get the people that want to abuse their power while they're in office, they need to be ousted. They need to be responsible for their actions, and if they commit crimes, they need to stand trial and be prosecuted like I would be if I committed a crime. Money shouldn't guarantee you the ability to be above the law. Yeah, I think that sometimes that's the case, and unfortunately that could also be stopped, but that's a whole other topic. I think that we need to look at within the cities that I'm referring to, again, across the whole United States, not just one particular area, where we have people that are abusing their positions, getting contracts, doing things for the city, getting bonuses out of it, where it's supposed to be unethical to be in a position of prominence inside a city and use that position to create financial gain for yourself. I think that's something that has not changed now, unless I'm wrong. They're always trying to pass laws to protect themselves from the Congress and the Senate, and unfortunately it trickles down to all the small cities in the United States, from the smallest to the largest. AT&T Prepaid is a great choice. When you switch to AT&T just become aware, get involved in what's happening inside your administrative structures inside your cities. And if you see something wrong, don't be afraid to report it. Don't be afraid to ask about it. Don't necessarily ask the people that you're saying are doing wrong, but ask other agencies. Every state has a governor staff who answers questions concerning rules and ethics inside the counties that they represent as a state capital. There is a structured council that can answer questions and should be willing to help you find out information about anything that goes on within your certain area where you live at. You own a house, you pay taxes, you have a right to know what's going on. Again, that's nothing new. It's always been there, but how many people actually act on it? Over 100 faux trees to fit everyone's needs. It has its moments. Things are done, but overall, I think that there's a big battle ahead for getting the corruption and the greed out of our political system and making it more again for the people. Just my opinion.
You'll find the most decor for every room, style, budget. So search no more. At home. Your home.
Guess that's really about it. I'm not feeling all that great. I'm not going to be negative, but I'm just feeling a little run down, so probably cut it short. I appreciate it, listening. I'm not expecting anybody. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I am. I'm having a good time doing this. I'm trying to be consistent and giving my little session every day. It may not matter to anybody. It may matter to a lot of people. That's not why I do it. I do it because it matters to me. It's just something I like to do. And if you're enjoying it, that's great. That's all the more better, I guess. Again, I'll end it on this. Be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other. Okay? Have a great Saturday. Go Seattle. Football, yeah.